That is usually so. One time I did this like 2 hour webinar. No, it was like a 90-minute webinar, an hour and a half, and I forgot to hit the record button.
Oh, okay.
That was so bad. So I try to make it a point now to remember to record stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So why don't you start off by just kind of introducing yourself, tell everybody what you do to generate cash flow like right now.
Okay. I'm becoming a vending operator, so I'm starting my own vending. I want to start my own vending company. I just secured one of my second locations yesterday. I'm starting out with charity boxes. I donate to breast cancer. I give some of my proceedings monthly to the breast cancer foundation. I work part-time doing security. I was working full-time. I was working 2 part-time jobs, one doing security and one doing FedEx, but I decided I wanted to try to start me a business, and I decided to stop working for FedEx because it was taking up all my time. So that's what I'm doing now is, even though this seems like it's more time consuming, trying to start a business and researching and getting all the information, but I think it's worth it because in the end, well, not in the end, but in the process, I'm going to be learning a lot, and I'm going to be replacing my income with FedEx and hopefully with my security job, and just keep building from there. I want passive income streams. I want to get into I want to diversify my vending business. I want to try like routes at stores, accounts at stores, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Hopefully one day I can get into, not one day, but hopefully I can get into the ATM business.
There you go.
And another one is I'm getting ready to start studying for real estate. I want to go to this real estate school here in Colorado, and that's pretty much what I'm trying to do right now.
To be a real estate investor or to be an agent?
An agent, associate broker to start associate broker, because I know with being an associate broker, I can do everything in real estate that a lot of other people is doing with different positions and
Don't
different
mind that half-naked boy there. That's my youngest stepson. Oh, you can't see it. You're on your cell phone.
So yeah.
So ATM, real estate, to be a broker, right?
Yeah.
So okay. Now, what about general contracting? Didn't you say you wanted to do that, or you're trying to do that, or tell me about that?
Oh, yeah, not general contract. I don't know if in an independent contract and general contractor is the same thing, but I said independent contractor. So independent contractor with what I'm trying to do would make sense with the vending company, and starting trying to set up accounts with stores, with like gas, with convenience stores and stuff like that.
Okay. So kind of like just having you're being self-employed, having your own business, and just going out there and finding places to put it.
Yeah, basically being self-employed. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Jimmy, can you hang on 1 second?
Okay.
Hang on 1 second. Joseph, what are you doing? Oh shit. And when you're done, take that trash bag. Yeah, you got it. Good job. Thank you. Sorry, Jimmy.
No, you're okay.
Okay, so how much money do you have coming in right now?
It's all right. All my bills is paid for. The next income with the more income that I make, that I build with, it's going to go back to either me or the business. So, but the income that I make right now pays all my bills. That's pretty much it.
Well, what is that number? What is that dollar amount that you're making? Roughly, it doesn't have to be exact.
Like 2,600, 2,500.
All right, I'm going to say 2,500 just because it always makes my math easier, okay?
Okay.
Now, is that from strictly the security job, or does that include the vending too?
No, it's from the security job.
Okay, so you just started the vending. You don't have anything coming in from that yet, is that right?
No, I don't have nothing. I don't have anything coming from that yet.
Okay, awesome. So you got $2,500, and that you said is paying your bills, right? It's keeping the lights on, feeding you, all that kind of good stuff, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and you said it's part-time. How many hours is that?
About 25, 30. It averages like around 30.
25 to 30 hours. All right, awesome. So I think you, just so you know, in my opinion, are in the perfect position to go out and kick ass with your vending. You know what I mean? Because you have a part-time gig that is paying your bills and feeding you and keeping your lights on, right? So you don't have that worry on your shoulders. You know what I mean? You don't have that pressure. So
yeah.
Now all you need to do is go out and make the vending thing happen. So have you actually bought any vending machines, or do you have any, or what's the dealio?
Yeah, I bought some vending machines. Like I said, I started with the charity honor boxes. Them are the ones that you see in the suckers, and where you can insert like 50 cents or more, whatever you want. So it's the charity boxes, but I got 26 of those to start with.
Holy crap! Okay, 26 charity boxes. Now, is that, correct me if I'm wrong? Is that kind of like on the honor system? Like, can somebody just, like, if somebody was shady, could they just take something and not have to put anything in there?
No, they have to put something in there. If they're well, hopefully what I'm doing is kind of, people can take something if they want to, and there's like a 30% chance of theft, but I'm willing to take that risk, but they have to pay in order to get the product.
But what I'm saying is, it's not like a vending machine where the machine dispenses it. It's actually out there in the open, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure, because I worked at a job before that had one of them, so I just want to make sure that was, the kind of thing that we're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
All right, cool. So you got 26 of those boxes. Now, how much did those 26 boxes cost?
I'm embarrassed to say this after I found out about other companies, but it cost me like $500,000.
$500?
Yeah.
$500 for the 26 boxes. Now, how much?
$500 for the 26 boxes, and part of that 500 is I had to pay for them to find me locations. So I already got the location set up with that.
So, okay. So you paid $500 and you got 26 of these boxes. Do they have the like whatever they're giving away included in the boxes?
No, they just give me the boxes. I have to buy the product myself.
Gotcha. Okay. Now you said so that's like $19.23 a box. So per box. Now tell me about, you said about the location is included with that. What was that about?
Yeah, locations included. So they find me out of those 26 boxes, they find me 26 locations.
For $500?
Along with the boxes, yeah.
So
no, not an extra $500, but along with the boxes.
Well, I mean, that seems like a good deal for me. How much money can each box make?
How much can the boxes make?
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Are you talking about like over the over a long period or monthly?
No, monthly. I like the word monthly.
That's what I like to do too, monthly. That has the potential to make is there's really no set price. So the research that I did with some of the people who already have charity, some of them make $7 a month on one box, and up to one of them had like $33 in there in one box. So
all right. So because you're counting on people to hopefully give more because it's charity, right?
exactly, yeah.
So let's so 33 plus 7 is 40 divided by 2 is 20. Let's be conservative and say $15 a month. How's that?
Yeah.
All right, so
That
let's
makes
be
sense.
conservative. $15 a month. So 15 times 26. Oh shit. 15 times 26 is $390. That's not bad. I mean, that's not bad. So, but you still got to buy your product. So how much is the product going to cost you to fill each box?
It depends on where you buy from. I got this. There's another company who has their own charity boxes. They're called Sheridan Systems, and they're cheaper as far as the boxes, but they don't get you locations. But back to the lollipops that you can buy them, it's like 1,000 count for like $103 or something like that.
So you're putting lollipops in the charity boxes.
Lollipops, and I could put other candies, but I bought the one for lollipop. I bought the boxes that has this for lollipops. Yeah.
Okay, and it's, what did you say? 1,000 of them for $100?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So $100 equals 1,000 lollipops. All right. So do you know how many lollipops can fit in each charity box?
About 25 to 30.
All right, let's use 30 because it just makes it easier.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
basically you are, whoops. So you're basically paying 10 cents for a lollipop, right? Per lollipop times 30 is $3. Okay. So each box is $19.23 plus $3 with your product, right?
Yeah.
So that's $22.23. Let's just say $23. Just make math easier. So $23 is your total all-in investment every month for these boxes, and that's per box. But you can make $3.90 per box. Like, I think that's an amazing deal, Jimmy.
Yeah. I've done the numbers, and I did the numbers before I even invested in it, and it just makes sense for at least what I'm trying to do right now and where I'm at. So it's a good deal.
How long ago did you buy these boxes?
Probably early December.
Okay, and so how long does it take them to find you a location?
That's where it gets complicated at. I had a couple setbacks financially. I wrecked a brand new car that I just got, and I wrecked it I wrecked it in like 9 days, and I'm just now paid. I just now paid for all of it, and I'm gonna be getting my car back. But that was a financial setback. That happened, and then I quit my job at this around 3 or 4 weeks later. So financially, I had a couple setbacks.
So why do you say financially you had a couple of setbacks? Did you already pay them that money, or you didn't pay them that money?
No, I didn't pay them that money. No.
Oh, okay. So did you pay him the money yet?
So pretty much all my money was going to the car that I had to pay for, which is like $1,000 deductible. And then I had Christmas. I had to worry about Christmas and getting the kids presents and all that. So the business pretty much got set aside for a minute.
Okay, so you have not actually like physically bought these boxes yet.
No, I bought the boxes right before I got the car.
So you did pay the $500 already.
I paid the $500. I just haven't been able to get the product for the boxes.
Oh, you haven't been able to get the $100 to buy the lollipops.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, $100, that's easy to get, Jimmy, right?
It's easy to get now. Like I said, I was worried about Christmas and the holidays, so I wasn't trying to worry about me. I was worried about everybody else. So
yes, I love it. All right, phew. You had me worried for a second. I mean, even $600 is easy to get, but $100, that is super easy for you to get.
Oh yeah.
What are some
I can make that with Lyft.
Say that again, Jimmy.
I can make that with Lyft. I can driving for Lyft. I can do that in like 2 or 3 days. But like I said, I didn't have no transportation, so.
Yeah, right. Now you got a car now?
$20 is nothing. That's I'm trying to talk about it. I'm not gonna lie, because they still haven't finished with my car yet.
Oh man, well, how you getting around?
I was driving for Lyft for a minute.
Oh, what, did they let you drive their own car?
Yeah, they have a program where you can rent a car and you have to pay a certain amount to rent it, plus then you can get the money you make from that. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when do you think you'll have a car? Because I feel like that you would feel way better doing this if you had some wheels.
Oh my God, that's gonna change everything. It should be done by next week.
Oh, nice. All right, nice. So even before next week comes, like, of course you can drive to for Lyft and make a quick $100. But I feel like that you probably have something in your house right now, Jimmy, that you're not using, that you might have bought a while ago, that you could probably sell, and a couple things that you could sell to make $100.
Oh no, yeah, that's understandable. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's something that I feel like you could totally do before your car's ready to go. So then boom, you got the $100. So then boom, your car's ready, and now nothing can stop you. Right now, you just order that those lollipops. Did you have to order it online, or like can you go to BJ's or somewhere like that to get it, like a Costco?
What I'm looking at is online.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, like literally, like if when we get off this phone call, you could totally look around and be like, oh, you know what? I haven't used that in 3 years. I'm going to sell it. Oh, I haven't used that in 10 years. I'm going to sell it. And I feel like if you did that, you could come up with $100 like that, and then you got the $100. So now you could go just right online and order those lollipops. So then when your wheels come in next week, you'll be good to go. So now, do you have to let the company know, hey, look, I'm ready, give me a location? Or how does that work?
I really don't know how that works. Pretty much, I know this is going to sound kind of crazy. I was so caught up in trying to let a company find locators to find locations for me, but the last like 3-4 weeks, I've been really thinking about it, and I just told myself, you know what, I'm not going to let nothing hold me back. I'm not going to let fear get in the way, and I'm going to just go out there and find the locations myself. So that's what I've been trying to.
Great idea. So I would say
even though I have locations set up, I'll probably use some of them, but I really want that. I got the entrepreneur spirit now where I'm like, you know what, nothing's going to hold me back. I'm going to go out there and find locations myself. So
yeah,
I found 2 locations within the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to just try to stay on this path.
Nice. So what kind of locations were they?
I got a restaurant, a small little restaurant, and I also got a woman's, what do you call it? A woman's hair shop.
Awesome. And now you don't have to give them anything, right? They're just letting you do it because it's for charity, right?
I could open my mouth and say I can give them a portion, but after learning what I learned about getting locations, you should never do that unless they ask for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think your big what do you call it, positive, where you don't have to give the store owner anything, is you're doing this for charity, and you're going to donate a portion. How much do you donate to charity? 10%?
Yeah, about
10%.
$20 to $30 a month.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Yeah, because I think that's your biggie. But, you know, you're donating it to charity, so I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to give them anything, like you said, unless they offer. So that is
Yeah,
huge. So you got 2
yeah.
locations, and when are you gonna put them in there? After you get that $100 and buy those lollipops, and they're on board with it?
Um, I actually bought like a 50 count bag online about 2 weeks ago, and I finally got it in, and I got one location already got one charity box in one location, and I just got to fill up the next charity box that I have with the remaining suckers, and I'm gonna bring it in probably this weekend.
Love it. So which one did you put it in already? The restaurant or the hair shop?
The restaurant. I just got the hair shop yesterday.
I love it, Jimmy. That's awesome. And then you're gonna do
Thank
the
you.
hair salon. You're gonna do the hair salon. So this is what I would do. This is my suggestion. I would
Okay.
say as soon as we get off the phone, or off this Zoom or whatever this thing is called. I don't even know what this platform is. I don't know how we call it. But as soon as we get off this, I would totally look around your house, see what kind of stuff you could sell, books or maybe like old video games and shit, you know, anything really that you know you're not using anymore, and see if you could come up with
Yeah.
$100 tonight and sell it, right? And you could sell it on Craigslist. You could sell it on Let Go. Let Go is awesome and it's free, right? Craigslist is free.
Yep.
Hey Ron, welcome. So Craigslist is free. Let Go is free. And Facebook, I don't know if you're a part of any like local groups in your like area, Jimmy, but they like, for instance, in my area, they have a lot of like sell this, or like yard sale for this group, or buy, sell, or free stuff, right? So there are a ton of them on Facebook, and I think Facebook has it like set up so well that if you post on one, it's just like a click of a button where you can post on like all of them that are kind of near you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I feel like that it should be easy for you to make that $100. And then as soon as you get that, boom, online, you're going and you're buying those lollipops. So then you're already going to have the hair salon taken care of, I guess, this weekend. That you don't need that 1,000-bag box of lollipops for the hair salon, right? You got that covered with the suckers you already have, right?
No, I don't need that 1,000-count bag. I got some remaining that I can put in the box that I have right now.
Awesome. Okay, so then you're gonna get that taken care of this weekend, right?
Yeah, I'm doing that right before I go into my security job.
Awesome. So then I would say definitely once you get off this call, find a way to make that $100, which it honestly should be really, really easy. I mean, you could probably make that selling stuff, you know, that you already have. Or for other folks that are listening, an easy way to make $100 is to, like, we all know how to do stuff, you know, and it might be easy stuff. It might be like, it just snowed here, right? So if you literally wanted to make $100, you could go find 5 people and say $20, I'll shovel your driveway or whatever, you know what I mean? 10 people for $10, whatever it is. So making $100 is easy. And I know you can totally do that. So I would do that. I would get the 1,000 lollipops. But then what I would also do, which I think is really, really important because you already paid for it, Jimmy, is I would reach out to the company that you bought these charity boxes, and I would say, hey, listen, I'm ready to go. I already placed 2 on my own, so I got 24 now. How are you guys going to find me locations? When can I expect my next location? Now, I'm not telling you to stop looking for locations, but have them looking for you as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, the company that I bought the boxes from, they already got the locations for me.
So they got this restaurant and this hair salon, or you got that on your own?
No, I got the restaurant and hair salon on my own, but they gave me a list of other locations that they already called ahead of time and got for me.
Oh, they already called for you, or they already sent you a list.
Yeah. Okay.
And the list were people that already said yes, or they're kind of people that you need to prospect and get them to say yes?
I think it's from what I hear, I probably have to prospect, go in there myself and get them to say yes. Like I said they got the locations, but I don't put 100% trust in them really getting locations for me. I know I would have to go in there and talk to them, especially now after the time that they did it about a month ago. I probably have to go in there and talk to them and say, hey, somebody called ahead of schedule, or somebody called, and I'm now placing my boxes at your location. So
yeah, I feel like you're right. I feel like you're going to have to try to sell them yourself. But I think it's still a great deal, Jimmy. I think it's a great deal. $500. I know what these charity boxes are because, like I said, I worked at a spot before that had one. But I think it's a great deal, and especially if they're already sending you a list of locations. Now, I think I'm on the same page as you, where they're just sending you a list of businesses and they didn't really kind of vet them for you. But I feel like you could get in there, I would totally tackle them, those locations. I would even look at, I don't know if they have these on there already on this list, but I would totally look at like, how do you call them? Like business complex and business centers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think they would be really, really huge, because you got and that's where it was where I used to work. I used to work in like a business in one of these like big business complexes, where it was a huge complex and they had all these businesses in there. And I worked at one, and in the lunchroom they had one of these charity boxes there. And when you wanted a snack during the day, because especially the afternoon or whatever, like 2-3 o'clock, you want some sugar or something, you would go in there.
Yeah.
You would kind of give them $1 or whatever it was. I think they actually had like price tags on them, but you totally I'm sure there was theft too, because it wasn't like a machine. It was exactly like you're talking about. But I think business complex is huge for you to target.
Exactly. That's why I said I want to kind of diversify and not just stick to lollipops, because there's other companies out there that have snack boxes too that you can donate into charity. So that's in my plans in the near future, and so I understand what you mean.
Good. Now, for all of your charities, for all 26 of your boxes, they're just for lollipops. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so these 26 are just lollipops, but in your future, you want to add different kind of snack type of charity boxes, right?
Not just that, but yeah.
I love it. And this is this is my suggestion to you. You could take it or leave it, because this takes a whole lot of discipline, what I'm about to tell you. And I'll be completely forthright with you and tell you that I screwed it up in the beginning when I started my ATM business. But I found that if you take 100% of your profits from every single one of your charity boxes, well, minus the donation. Let's forget about the donation part. Of course, you're going to do the right thing and donate, but 100% of what's left over, and just reinvest that back into other passive income streams, whether it's more charity boxes with, different kinds of snacks or whatever else you want to do. That is going to be your fastest way, Jimmy, to get to your ultimate goal, which is, what is your ultimate monthly goal?
Are you talking about income wise?
Yes, sir.
For my vending businesses, at least $2,000 or more a month.
How about we say $2,500 a month, so it kind of matches your security gig?
Okay, $2,500.
So I just want to do the math real quick. Hold on one second. 39 times 10%. That's $39. So $390 minus 39. So we did that scenario where, remember we said, let's say you make an average of $15 a month for your charity box.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what it was. So you make $390, and let's say you do 10% back, which is $39. That means you're going to net You get a net $351 that first month. So then if you do it again next month, that's 702, right? And then so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep reinvesting 100% of that money back into the charity boxes or whatever it is, and I feel like you said that you found a vendor that sells them for cheaper than 500, right?
Yes, correct.
What's the new vendor's price?
$333 for 55 boxes. $333 for 55 boxes.
$333 for 55 boxes, but they don't give locations, or they do?
No, they don't give locations. Okay,
so $333 for 55 boxes. So if every charity box you place does that $15 a month, and you have $390, and you donate 39 bucks to charity, and you have $351 your first month, you totally can, right then, your first month, go out and buy another 55 boxes for $333 and have 18 bucks left over.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, of course, you're going to have the money for whatever you're going to put in them. And then I feel like since you only have a part-time job for your charity, your security job, you totally can hustle and place those next 55 boxes.
Yeah, I didn't I was going to tell you this, but I also got a whole box of like colognes and hats, and that just gave me an idea. I need to try to find them and try to sell them and see what I can make from them.
Colognes and hats?
Yeah.
What kind of hats?
Some fashion and mostly plain.
Okay. So this is what my suggestion. I would concentrate on one thing at a time. You know what I mean? So, or you think you can put those $333 for the 55 charity boxes? What kind of products can go in those boxes?
Suckers and candies, another type of candies.
Okay. You know what? You might be able to use those colognes and those hats right away, Jimmy, to get you that $100 or even more.
Yeah, that's what I was talking. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that could be like your product money.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, cool. So I really feel like you can totally nail this, and you have like I don't know if you know this, but I feel like you have a really big advantage, Jimmy, because you're only doing a security job part-time, and that part-time job is paying your bills. So you have all this free time to do that entrepreneurial endeavor of yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I really do know that, and I feel like I hit the jackpot. But this was all according to plan. I set this up. I've been trying to set this up for like the past 8 months. And I finally got it to the point where I can work on the weekends and have the other time to just make money. Really,
that's huge. That's awesome. That's awesome. And with these charity boxes, like I'm like, so for the ATM business, I'm all about like, because it's a vending business, but I'm vending money, right? I'm not vending lollipops. I like to like go in person, to talk about the business. But I feel like for this, you could totally just call people up. I feel like it is a personal kind of business too. But I feel like you could call people up and just like hammer the phone to kind of get more places to want your charity box, because you got great positioning. Whereas you're donating to charity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah,
I really do.
I think you're going to do really well with this. Do you have any questions for me or anyone else on the line that we can help you a little bit more with this?
Yes, I do. I don't know if it's a question. Yeah, I think it's a question. Like I said, I'm focusing. You said focus on one thing at a time, and that's what I'm doing. I'm focused on the charity vending boxes for right now until I purchase some more. Until I get them in the location, and I purchase some more and get them in location. Then after that, I can focus on other passive income streams, because I will have that money rolling in where I can put it towards that. towards whatever new passive income stream, and it's either going to be of course, vending, but it's either going to be ATM or trying to set up accounts with convenience stores, like selling accessories or whatever product I choose to get into. And the question is not a question. I don't know what to call it, but putting everything together after all and making it into a simple formula to where everything is operating the not probably not the best way that I want to, but everything is operational and things is simple and everything. Like I said, everything is operational. And I actually spoke to you about during the summer about a event about the ATM business, and then you asked me why I want to get into it, and I told you that the reason why I want to get into it, of course, the money, but I want a business where I can totally make it operational and have it having a return coming back to me, and it's just operating the right way. The only reason why I said that is because there's a couple other businesses, or I don't know, side hustles that I tried, and I wasn't 100% invested in them. And after I learned that, I want to be 100% invested in my business now, and I just want to make it into a simple formula to where I don't have that many mistakes and money is coming back in. I know it's not no fairy tale, but do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, yeah. So you just want like a kind of like a proven system to follow, and then you just execute it and just follow that same simple system every single month where it's making you cash flow, right?
Yeah, and it's not hard on me because, like I said, I'm gonna be doing vending. I'll probably be in real estate school at that time, or in another school doing something, and I just want a system, and that's what you're right. That's the key word. I just want a system, and that's the biggest thing to me because I'm gonna be doing all type of things, and I don't want to be all over the place and just, what I mean?
That's why I think it's really important to do one thing at a time, and you want to get it systemized so it's like you can operate it like clockwork, right? You don't want like it to be like the charity boxes are gonna be great. Maybe you have to fill them once a month. I don't really know how that works. Is it once a month or once a week? Do you know how it's supposed to run?
Yeah.
Once a month.
Oh, you're asking me. It depends on how the location is doing.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense. Duh. So let's just say each location might be different, right? Let's be honest. Like maybe the restaurant kicks butt, and maybe and you have to fill it once a week, and the hair salon is like once a month, But
yeah.
So you'll learn your location, and it's the same way with the ATM business. You learn the location, and you learn how often you have to fill it with what the cash is you have to work with. So once you learn that about all 26 of your locations, and then the next 55 locations that you're going to have, you can kind of plan, your workflow accordingly.
Strategy.
Here's a big key that I'll tell you, Jimmy, that, I don't know if the charity box people that sell you this kind of give you any tips or advice or anything, but I would say try to make all the locations where you put these boxes in convenient to your home or where you work, so you don't have to travel far.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that really. So I always tell people, like with the ATM business, the most amount of time that you spend is actually driving to the location, because it's easy peasy to
money.
Yeah. So the same thing with you. Like it's probably the big deal with you is going to be driving to the location too. So as long as you properly plan, I think it's feasible for you to have, what is that, 5, 6, 81 locations where you're just putting lollipops in. I mean, I don't know, maybe that would take you like a day, 2 days. I don't know. But then you have the rest of let's say like 3 other days to do whatever else you want to do.
Yeah.
So the location itself will let you know how often you need to fill it. And then that's something that you have in your mind. And also you make a spreadsheet, like make a simple spreadsheet for yourself. And then,
Yep.
yeah, the only hard part I would say, and when I say hard, I don't really mean hard, but the only hard part is it's not like with the ATM business, I don't have to leave my house to know if the ATM is empty. Like I get notified electronically, or I can go on a website and look. So I feel like you, in the beginning, you're going to have to like go to a location to see if it's low or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Until you get to know it. And then when you get to know it, it probably will work like clockwork and be the same every month or every week, what have you. But then after you get those situated, let's just talk about the 26 right now, because that's what you got. You'll be able to systemize it and know what you're doing at the same time every week. Oh, I got to fill all these guys on Thursday, because I know they're going to be low. And then you could go to the 55 boxes, and then you'll eventually be able to systemize that. And hey, you know what? You might be able to. This is something that This is a lot of trust, I would say, but you might be able to hire somebody to fill it for you. You know what I mean? If you wanted to.
Yeah, that stays on my mind too.
But it takes some trust. I mean, for me, like to hire somebody in the ATM business, I could hire an armored service company, right? And they're insured and bonded and all that stuff. But when it comes to what you're doing, you have to trust that the person isn't going to just run away with your lollipops or just throw them in the trash and take your money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you don't have any kids, do you, Jimmy?
No, I don't have no kids.
Okay. I was going to say, if you had kids, that might be a good, like, kid job for them to, like, start learning about, business and stuff like that,
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be something that maybe you could have down the line kind of figure that part out with somebody feeling it. But then after you get these charity boxes systemized, then move on to the next thing. And then you'll get that flowing and working and systemized. And then move on to the next thing, right? Because a lot of times people want to do like 20 things at once, and then they don't make a big dent in anything.
Just spread yourself thin.
Yeah, exactly. Does anybody, I know we have some folks on the line, if anybody has some questions for Jimmy or wants to kind of respond about anything we've already been talking about, we're trying to help Jimmy increase his cash flow. Jimmy's a part-time security guard, and he would like to eventually not be a security guard, and he has 26 charity boxes that he bought, which I think he got a good deal, but he now says that there's other places that sell them for cheaper. But he got 26 charity boxes for $500, and it'll cost him another $100 to fill all of them up with the lollipops in them. And on average, we were kind of just guesstimating he would make $15 a box, and that's like $390 a month. And then if we subtract, let's say, I'm just saying a 10% donation to charity, so he nets $351 a month. He found 2 locations on his own already, so now he has 24 locations to place. He has a list of 24 spots, but Jim and I kind of both feel, and I think I agree with him, that he's still going to have to, quote unquote, sell them on the charity box when he goes into them. So if anybody has any ideas for Jimmy, any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask away. Or I think I can unmute you. By the way, guys, I'm new to this little system we're on right now, so I don't know exactly what I'm doing. But I feel like that you guys could just talk if you needed to, because I didn't do anything to Jimmy. Jimmy just started talking. Right, Jimmy?
Right.
All right, cool. Like you didn't have to like push a button or anything and say unmute yourself or something like that, did you?
No.
All right, cool. All right, I don't think anybody has any questions right now because a gentleman named Ron is on, but he has muted himself. So I figured if he wants to ask a question or add some insight, that he would unmute himself. So I'll keep an eye on his mic just in case. Any other questions, Jimmy, where we can help you increase that cash flow, I think you have a very, very good plan. And I will make one more suggestion for you, though. I don't know if you've already done this, but did I post this in the group? Hold on one second. Let me guys, I'm going to try to share my screen. We'll see how this goes. Give me 1 second and let me know if you guys can actually see my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
No.
You can't see my screen, Jimmy? The cash flow
No.
website is up.
You
You
talking
see
about
it?
on Facebook, right?
Oh shit, you're on your phone.
Yeah.
Ron, are you on a laptop? If you're on a laptop, can you let me know in chat if you can see my screen?
I'm on my phone and I can see your screen.
Awesome. Thank you, Ron. So this is what I wanted to share with you, Jimmy, is if you have not done this already, I don't know if you saw this post that I made in the Cashflow Hackers group, and I had told about a letter that I found from October 29th of 2000. Did you read that post?
No.
Okay, so I'm just going to briefly kind of go over it for you. I'm working on a couple projects right now, and I was looking for notebooks because I like to keep things separate, and I'm one of those people where I do like to write things down. And I found, and I knew I had a ton of notebooks, so I went and I found some notebooks, and I was reading them, and I found this letter that I wrote to this guy named Cliff. I have no idea who Cliff is, but I wrote this letter to him in 2000, so October 29th, 2000, almost 18 years ago, okay? And
wow.
Yeah, so in this letter, it's like let me see, 1, 2, 3. It's like it's a 5-page letter I wrote to this guy. I have no idea who he is right now. But, I say, hey, Cliff, this is a letter to tell you where I'd like to be in the next 1 to 3 years from now. It's that personal business plan that we talked about before you left to go back to Idaho. Again, I don't know who he is. And then I wrote, at this moment, I'm not in the best of situations, right? Which kind of is like how you might feel about with your car situation, but that's going to be cleared up next week,
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to share is there's a part in this letter where I said, at this time in my life, I had a full-time job and I was doing real estate part-time. I was buying used mobile homes and selling them with owner financing. Okay, so I've been doing that for about a year at this time when I wrote this letter. And I was afraid to get into to buying like single family homes, right? Because they were just too expensive and they cost too much money. You know what I mean? And I was just afraid. And that's why I started with mobile homes. So that was my mindset while I was writing this letter. So I wrote to this Cliff guy in this letter. I said, as of October 29th, 2000, I would like to buy my first single family home by January 31st, 2001. Right? So what is that? October, November, December, January. I gave myself 3 months. Well, so the date was January 31st, 2001, that I wanted to buy my first single family home, is what I wrote in this letter to this guy in October 29th, 2000. I actually bought my first single family home on February 1st, 2001.
Wow.
So I wrote I wanted to buy it by January 31st, 2001, and I actually physically bought one and made settlement on February 1st, 2001. Is that crazy?
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's just the power of you actually, again, I don't know if you've already done this. If you've already done this, this is great. But it's just the power of you writing out a plan for yourself and what you want to do, where you want to be. And sometimes people, I don't get this, but sometimes people feel like that's enough. Like you just write the shit down and then it magically happens. But of course, I know that that's not how it happens. You write it down and then you take the actions to make it happen. And then it comes to fruition. You know what I mean? And I also wrote at the end of the letter, By the way, within the next 2 years, I plan to quit my full-time job and invest full-time and buy a single-family house for myself to live in. So that was October 2000, October 29th, 2000. I think this was about I think probably it was like late 2003 or 2004 where I quit the job that I had at the time to invest full-time in real estate. And I bought my first house to live in 2003. So it's just amazing that, the years was off a little bit, but still like all that shit happened in a really quick time span because I wrote it down and then I took the actions to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do have actually another example of that. You ever heard of T. Harv Eker?
No.
He wrote the book Secrets. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and just come back to this normal thing now. He wrote the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And back in 2012, I believe, or actually 2009, and they still go on today, but he doesn't own the company anymore. But he did this seminar called Never Work Again. And before you got to this seminar called Never Work Again, which is strictly about passive income, you went to the Millionaire Mind Intensive. And it was a 3-day free event, okay? And me and my wife went there, and I believe we went there in 2009 because it was after we started our ATM business. And when you go to Never Work Again, and we went there in 2009 as well, there's all these people that get on stage, like all these amazing teachers and mentors that teach you about these different passive income streams, right? And I remember thinking at the time, gosh, I want to get on stage and I want to talk about something and help these people get passive income. However, at the time, I had no idea what that was going to be. You know what I mean? So that was in 2009. At the end of the Millionaire Mind Intensive, no, I think it was at the end of Never Work Again, you had to write down like some things that you want for your future. So this was 2009. I'm at Never Work Again, and I wrote down, I'd like to be on your stage speaking and Never Work Again at some point. In 2012, 3 years later, I spoke for the first time at Never Work Again.
Wow.
So it's just, of course, I spoke about passive income with the ATM business. Like it's just amazing. So if you have not done that yet, that would probably be my biggest thing to help you increase your cash flow. And anybody else that listens to this replay, the biggest thing would be write down your goal. And you have a lot of stuff that you can totally make happen right now. So I would say write down, goals like, okay, how many charity boxes do I want to place in a week? How many locations do I have to contact each week to do that? Do you know what I mean? Like write down little steps that you're doing, and then boom, eventually you'll reach that ultimate goal that you want. And I hope people that are listening to this realize that these goals are writing this stuff down is so powerful. And even if it's not in a goal format, like I just wrote a letter to this dude who is still, if anybody knows who Cliff from Idaho is, I would love to know who he is and why I wrote him a letter. But I still write things with pen, like stuff like that. I write with pen and paper, So yeah, it's even if you have to write it in letter format, just write stuff down. Don't stop at writing it down. You have to follow through, which I know you're going to do because you've already done that. You've already accomplished so much, even when you got into a little pickle with your car, Yeah. Cool. So, Ron, do you have anything you want to add to Jimmy to kind of help him increase his cash flow right now?
Hey guys, sorry I missed some of the beginning, so I didn't get the whole piece of it. But Jimmy, I would just say kind of what Carrie's been saying, man, is you just gotta just stick with it and be willing to risk a little bit and don't make excuses, man. Just go after something and focus on make your list of things and then focus on one of them until you've got that one going smoothly. And then from there, that gives you a little bit more money to work on the next project that maybe brings in a little bit more cash flow than the last one.
Thank you.
Love it. Thank you, Ron. That was great. So it's one thing at a time, get that thing flowing. And then next thing, and then like I said, Jimmy, it does take a lot of discipline. And I even tell this with my ATM students. It takes a lot of discipline because everybody has a goal. They all have this monetary goal that they're shooting for. But of course, we know ultimately there's a bigger goal than the money, but that money helps us get that bigger goal. So they all have this monetary goal to get with their ultimate, I call it a why. You know, a lot of you'll hear that. What's your why? So they all have this monetary goal to reach their ultimate why. So I always tell folks that have jobs that are paying their bills and that are keeping the lights on or feeding their family, I would say, you know what? Invest 100% of your profits from your ATM business back into the ATM business until you reach that monetary goal. You have no reason to stress about money. You know, put off, you know, the Disney vacation for right now or whatever you normally did with your normal job. Keep doing it. But don't do anything extravagant with that income that's coming in from the ATMs until you reach that ultimate goal. And it totally takes so much discipline for folks to do that because they'll see this money coming in. Like you'll see like this almost $400 coming in every month and be like, ooh, I don't want you to be like, ooh, let me like go get, you know, I don't even know what you like, Jimmy, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Gary, can I add to that?
It does take a lot of discipline, but I feel like I know, I don't feel like I know that if folks are disciplined and they can reinvest 100% of their income, like their passive income that they're making from ATMs or from charity boxes, from vending, from whatever it is they're doing on the side while they have a job, they will get out of their job so much freaking quicker if they just took that discipline a little bit.
Gotcha.
Ron, I saw you unmuted your mic. You got anything you want to add?
Yeah, no, I just want to echo that, Jimmy. It took me 6 years. I'm also now 100% self-employed, and I've never actually spoken to Carrie other than Messenger a few weeks back. So what's up, Carrie?
Hi, Ron.
But yeah, it took me 6 years of working my full-time job, doing one business, and then I started ATMs actually 2 years ago. And it's the same thing. I never took a dollar out of the first business until I was able to totally pay everything off. And then still to this date, 2 years later, I haven't taken a dime from my ATMs because I'm constantly putting that back in for two things. One, to pay the machines off, and two, to have a bankroll to be able to put in my vaults, so I'm not paying interest on that money. And the more that you can just put back into the business and not take away from it, then yeah, the much quicker you're going to get out of your full-time job or whatever it is you're doing to make money. So she's 100% right on that. Stay disciplined with it, focus on it, and don't rob from your own business.
Got you. That's the key word, rob.
Right. Yeah, because you're robbing yourself basically of your future that you ultimately want to achieve. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's scary.
Yeah. Right. Right. But now you know, and you know, people know that, and they can make an educated decision to not rob themselves of the future that they ultimately want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I said, it is hard, but you got proof right here with Ron. Ron did that. He reinvested the money back in, right? It took me 3 years to not have to have a job. So 2009 we started. 2012 I got fired from my job, never had to go back. So it takes time, and mind you, I didn't do it right. Like I did not. I think we only put 50% of our income back in the ATM business. Like that's why when I started my training with folks, I was like, dude, totally be disciplined. Do not do what I did. Like be smarter than that. Reinvest 100% of it until you reach your goal. Yeah. But awesome. Do you have any other questions, Jimmy? That maybe we can help you kind of generate.
I did have other questions. But something tells me not to focus on them questions, just focus on what I'm doing right now.
I love it, Jimmy. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, when you got what you're going right now and you got it all systemized and organized, maybe we'll do another cash sheet with you with your new questions for your new venture.
That would be great.
That sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. Hey, Ron, Jimmy's getting his car back. His car got wrecked, and he's getting it back next week. He needs $100 $100 to buy 1,000 pack of lollipops to put into his charity boxes that he has. What would you say is the fastest way for somebody like Jimmy to make $100? I already gave him my ideas. I just want to hear if you got any ideas.
Something. Go to a yard sale, buy something, and flip it.
See, Jim, right, Jimmy? I had the same idea, except I told him just to sell shit he already has. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Or go to the discount areas of certain stores, and flip that. You can even do that through Amazon, retail arbitrage.
Boom.
Okay.
You got it. I think you'll have no problems making that $100, Jimmy. I mean, I'm sure you got something around your house that you can make $100 with, or like I told you, you can maybe do it with the clones and the hats that you have. And there's Facebook to Let Go. There's all kinds of freaking groups that'll be in your local area in Colorado on Facebook that you can post things for sale. I think you'll have a pretty simple time to make that $100. So I wouldn't even sweat that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I just want to hear Ron's input to that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Awesome. All right, Jimmy, you got any other questions, or you good for now? You got a plan to kind of get into?
Yeah, just invest more in my plan. Just keep doing what I'm doing.
And don't forget to write it down. Write it down and give Jimmy deadlines. Yeah,
you just gave me a great idea. I'm gonna buy me a dry board that I can write stuff down with a marker and just look at it every day.
Love it. Yup, I got one. I got a huge one. One year for I don't know if it was for Christmas. I think it was for Christmas. My office used to be in the basement, and I went down the basement, and my wife had got my neighbor and her son, not my neighbor and his son, to put up this huge whiteboard in my basement. Like, it literally took up one whole wall. So yeah, I love whiteboards myself. So I think that would be a great idea for you.
Yeah, I think that's going to help me just put everything. It's going to help me start a system. That's where I can begin to start my system.
Yeah, it's going to help you with the amazing F word, focus.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. All right, Jimmy. Well, if you don't have any other questions, I think we can kind of end this cash seat for now. And I just want to let folks know, if you would like to be on a future cash seat, I'm going to make this a regular thing. I'm not going to say if it's like going to be weekly or monthly or anything like that, but it will be semi-regular. I think we did one in December, and then this is.
Hello?
You still hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Did you not hear me for a minute?
No, I didn't hear you for a minute.
Okay. So if you would like to be on a future cash seat, just shoot me a PM or even make a post on this particular cash seat post, and let me know, and we'll get you on a future cash seat, and you'll have other Cash Flow Hacker members participate to help you figure out how you can increase your existing cash flow, or maybe get you some new cash flow that you never even thought about. All right, guys,
exactly.
I'm signing off. Thank you for joining. Ron, thanks for giving some tips to Jimmy. And Jimmy, please keep us posted in the Cash Flow Hackers group on how you're doing, okay?
I will.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ron, too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks, Ron.